pleasure, here's Uni Cajal.
Thanks, Shay, for the lovely introduction. I'm Uni. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to discuss how to make 2K in gold a day. Let's get it. So I've laid everything out that you need from start to finish. You're going to need 1,800 tax certs, 2,000 iron ingots, 500 gold, 6 aqua farms, or 4 pearl aqua farms. Now, the 16 by 16 aqua farms to be purchased for 20 gilda from Mirage Isle, or the pearl aqua farms are 200 diligence from the cash shop. So you're going to need chum from the general merchants, which is 1 gold and 80 silver apiece, 1.5k in bamboo stalks, 2k in ground grain, 70k in vocation, or you can use gold for coral from the seed and sapling merchant. Most of the time, if you don't have the 70k in vocation, you can buy it for 8 to 10 gold per 1,000. Next, you're going to need a fishing boat. You can go with the Fish Finder Longliner design. This is around 600 to 800 gold on the auction house. Or you can take the time and do the achievement and get it for free. Either way, to build it, you're going to need a fishing license, a fishing crane, a fishing boat steering wheel, a high-powered engine, 2 lumber packs, 2 fabric packs, 2 iron packs, and 15 gold for dry dock. Or you can get a Moby Drake fishing boat for 400 diligence off the shop. If you go this route though, you're going to need a propellant, either Siren Song or Delph. Choice is up to you. In my opinion, I would go with the Siren Song. It seems faster, and if someone is trying to get your fish, this will help you out in the long run. But no matter what boat you choose, both hold the same 5 standard fish, 2 hooks for large fish, and 3 trade packs. So the last 2 items are completely optional but highly suggested. The first one being 90 bound labor rechargers every 21 days. Yeah, that's a lot, especially after everything else that I covered. That is an awful lot. I got you. But here's the thing with it. At the very beginning, labor is going to be a huge burden on you. You may not have but 1 to 500 labor left, and nobody wants to play without any labor. So just keep that in mind. The next thing in this is at the end of the 21 days, it's not that much of a factor on labor. It's basically dealing with how much gold you can make, how many times you can go out and go fishing. You basically, if you keep this up, you can go out as many times as you want to and come back. And we'll talk about how much this is a factor later. But at the very beginning, if you don't mind playing without any labor, then forego it. If you need labor, then buy them as you go. I just found it a lot easier to keep up with 90 bound labor recharges per 21 days, so that way I can know what I'm going to need, how many I'm going to have to buy a day. For the most part, shouldn't be buying more than 4, so it's not that big of a deal. So on to the second item. Second being up to 15 specialized snowflakes. I know, they're 200 gold from a general merchant or 30 diligence apiece. So let me explain. So if you have already specialized in 7 trades, you need at least 1. The only trade in this that needs to be elevated is fishing. 15 is if you want to do them all. The only crafting you need from the very start will be handicrafting at 10k proficiency. This so you'll be able to craft small bamboo fish traps. To get there, you'll spend the 2k in iron ingots. All you have to do is craft small fish hooks. It's not very profitable, however, it's an inexpensive way to get to 10k. Labor cost is small, so it'll take some time. I usually start the crafting and chill out watching a TV show or something, because 1,000 small fish hooks at a time usually take about 30 to 40 minutes. Again, very inexpensive and in my opinion the best course of action. However, you can forego this step altogether if you have a friend that's willing to make the fish traps on a frequent basis, or you already have the proficiency. Otherwise, I'll be using construction, alchemy, gathering, and fishing. 1,800 in tax certs? Okay, let me explain. My thing is, I don't want to be bogged down and have to stop for a day or so every week to make tax certs. So since you haven't started yet, why not just get it out of the way for the next 5 weeks so you don't have to worry with it. And on the 5th week, you can just go buy the bulk for the next 5 weeks. On Tyrannos, each tax cert is around 71 silver, so you can buy all you need for 5 weeks for around 900 gold, and the pressure is off. Other servers, i.e. Win, where people don't do as much crafting, I've seen them as far as 1 gold and change each, so be prepared. I suggest holding around 50 gold a day back for this. So this is going to be a setup and the breakdown for the aqua farms. Well, the first one is going to be the standard 16 by 16. So what you're going to do is you're going to place fish traps in all 4 corners of the aqua farm, and then you're going to place 4 more in between those anchor points along the outside edge. Then you're going to use 4 coral of your choice, and it can be placed around the air tank itself. Okay, so for Pearl Aqua Farms, these are 24 by 24. I recommend placing fish traps in rows of 5, minus the center one having 4 because of the big giant clam. Do this to no more than 2 or 3 of these farms because the labor costs will add up quickly. 24 traps will fit in these farms, and use the remaining farms for coral. Okay, Uni, our traps are set. Now how do we harvest? Fish traps are in a 6-hour rotation, and coral, depending, can be 8 hours or 17 hours. For each fish trap, it will cost around 51 labor. That's 1 to feed and 50 to harvest. This will add to your fishing proficiency. In return, you will receive 17 to 23 crawfish and around 9 on average starfish. For traps that are going to break down after harvesting, you will receive 40 to 60 shrimp or flatfish with a chance of halibut. So Uni, I harvested my traps. Now what do I do? Well, I'm glad you asked. You need to go to a general merchant and pick up some blue salt knives. Now 10 labor and 20 blue salt knives and the specified number of fish will make 1 Dawn's Lake essence. This labor will be added to the alchemy proficiency. Now the specified number of fish depends on what it is. For instance, crawfish will take 40, starfish 20, flatfish or shrimp 100, or 20 for halibut. Harvesting coral. Man, coral is really easy to deal with. All you gotta do is plant them and let them grow. Coral just uses 4 labor each harvest. This will be added to your gathering proficiency. Coral will yield on average 3 to 4 each, and basically use this for a cash crop due to the cheap labor to silver ratio. Now, as far as my labor recharges, how do I use them or when? Okay, I never use more than 4 labor recharges in a day. It's a waste. Otherwise, before I harvest, after server reset, I use 3 labor rechargers, and at the end of my harvest, I use 1 more. And I do this basically to protect my actual labor in between the harvest and processing, because I don't want my actual labor to drop below 3k, so that way I can go out later and have some fun. And now what we all been waiting for, Uni to show us the money. Well, I got you guys. 1 Dawn's Lake essence sells for around 2 gold, 80 silver to 5 gold depending on the server. I gained around 300 of these from 3 harvests. Here's a huge chunk just for gaining proficiency. 900 gold to 1500 gold. Alright, so that's just one thing. Moving on to coral. 1 antler coral, depending on the day and the server, I get anywhere between 70 silver to as much as 1 gold, 30 silver. Since I have 2 pearls just for this, I get around 1k or so of these bad boys while I have vocation. So I yield anywhere from 490 to 1300 gold per 1000. Cost for these is 45 vocation apiece. Now, as far as the other ones are concerned, green and red coral, they're a little bit lower, but you can harvest them a lot faster. So I get the anywhere between 2,500 of these, and they sell for about 490 gold a stack. Normally I will hold on to these till I have full stacks, no more than 2 days generally, and they give me 5 stacks. So in essence, 5 stacks of 500 gold is 2,500. You split that in half and you get about 1,300 from that, as well as the 900 to 1,500 for your Don's Lake Essence. That is your 2,000 to 3,000. Or going with the Antler Coral, 900 to 1,500 gold. Yes, on a weaker end, you probably wouldn't make 2,000 that day. You would only make closer to 1,500 to 1,600. But the following day, you can make much, much more. So it all balances out. That's the reason why I went ahead and averaged it out to about 2K. So there it is, guys. It in a nutshell. Well, guys, this has all been means to end. My whole purpose in doing fish traps was to gain 150k in fishing for the ultimate fishing rod, reduce the amount of labor per fish turn-ins, and gain some money along my way. If done right, you'll reach 150k proficiency in fishing within 21 days of farming your first trap. Keep in mind, this is a minimum of farming traps 2 times a day and 3 times when you have extra labor. At this point, I hope you've been saving your gold little by little so you have enough materials to build your own boat. Or at least went the other way and saved your diligence for the Moby Drake. Remember, if you get the Moby Drake, get a decent propulsion system. You don't want to be a turtle on the ocean. There is only really one more thing that can make your life any more easier, and that's a tidal house with a fish hook. This is so you can turn in faster, and fully loaded you can make around 70 gold every 15 to 20 minutes with little labor, still having enough labor for your farms. So just some little extra information to feed some chaos. The more accounts you have means the more amount of farms you can possess and the more money that can be made. So for example, if you're going to buy the highest account package right now, I think it's like $76, you could almost buy 3 accounts, which means that's like 6k to 7,500 in gold a day for about 30 minutes worth of work on every account, even if all you did was the farms. Plus an easier time spacing out labor and maintaining tech certs. That really gives you something to think about, doesn't it? So guys, it's about that time. So before I go, I want to shout out to all my Patreons. If you're interested in helping out, you can go to patreon.com/unicajole. And as always, I'm Uni. Y'all are awesome. Thanks for watching. I'm out. Hey, where's the lights? Oh, there they go.